Do a quick roll call.
Okay. Ellen Jimenez,
Present.
Regina Salas,
She's there.
Present.
Jennifer Grogan,
Present.
Cody Half Moon is excused. Michael Marquez may join as we're meeting. He's on the road right now. Jonathan Stone,
Here.
Jamie Towson is excused.
Perfect. And as a reminder, if you're carrying a cell phone, computer, or other sound device, we ask that you turn it off to minimize any disruption to today's meeting. Local check-in, do we have Vice Mayor Aslan on?
He's at the league, so he said he wasn't sure he'd be able to join us today.
Okay. We'll keep an eye out for him. Any check-ins from the commissioners?
Madam Chair, I have an update.
Go ahead, Regina.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So in my day job with Arizona at Work, Coconino County, we're in the process of updating our strategic local plan for the next 5 to 10 years. That's in the process, but also recently we have selected the Northern Arizona University Economic Policy Institute to help us conduct and understand and make recommendations in a comprehensive study of the impact of minimum wage throughout the Coconino County on economic development and workforce development. That's the reason why I have to leave the meeting early, because I have to preside that quick meeting with NAU EPI TMS that the work will begin today. Thank you.
Awesome. Congratulations. Jonathan?
Sure. I don't have much to add to last month's check-in since it's the summer. But one thing is express appreciation for Discover Flagstaff's team coverage of arts and culture events. I've been noticing it, and I appreciate that. And then also just a reminder that the Coconino Center for the Arts 40th anniversary celebration weekend is happening next weekend, so the weekend after Labor Day weekend, and apparently a pretty swanky affair on Friday night with a pretty nice. I saw your posting on a visit to the Cumulus.
It was great. And then you got this great trio that's going to play at the 40th anniversary. So you got some wonderful things happening over there.
Yeah, so it's pretty exciting. I noticed that the Center for the Arts also got a proclamation from the county naming the weekend Coconino Center for the Arts 40th anniversary day, I think is what they call it, so or weekend. But and then looks to me like the calendar's heating up for the season, and so it's a good stuff.
Thank you. Heidi, you have your hand up.
I wanted to say that we went to the governor's conference on tourism last week, and several commissioners with us. And just so you all know, we didn't pay for all of them. We had scholarships that were given to them by AOT. And it was because we had such a large attendance that they had a hard time saying no. And we had Councilmember House sat on a panel, which was terrific. Councilmember Sweet joined us, and Brian Gall, our airport director, was on an airport panel. Lori did a panel, Trace did a panel, Michael did a panel.
Heidi did.
I did a panel only because they decided at the last minute they wanted the DMO with the airport, which was kind of all over the place. But anyway, but the big thing was they did their unveiling of their rebrand for Arizona, and finally, they're recognizing Arizona is not just cactus and desert. They're going to do it southern, central, and northern. And we have our ponderosa pine trees, and we think the mountain that they have chosen looks a little bit like the peaks. So we're super excited about that. I did send a note to mayor and council, and if any of you saw it, I then sent you another note saying that although I let them know that for 12 years I've been beating down AOT, you guys have been doing it too. So I wanted you to know that I would, I'm remiss in not saying that. But I have been beating down AOT on the fact that they weren't representing Northern Arizona correctly. I think you also saw in a lot of the stuff that they had, different PowerPoints, there was actual snow and skiing and things like that. And I can tell you from years of going to this conference, we never saw that. So I feel like luckily Lisa is listening and I know Alex is listening. So it's exciting news. I'm going to put the logo that represents us into the chat, but that's what I wanted to share. So thank you, Chair.
Oh, thank you.
I may ask Heidi, do you think that's just because of change of leadership or?
Yeah, I really do. I think I was making headway with Debbie Johnson, who was the previous AOT director. She started doing some fire awareness partnerships with us and things like that. But for some reason, they always wanted to go back to just showing it as Phoenix. And I don't know what that was about. And then I have to say something. Thank you, Ryan, for being here. Lisa, the AOT director, knows Ryan from his past position. And she said in her opening remarks that she was told by Ryan that we have the world's largest ponderosa pine tree forest in the world. And that resonated with her. And I think, Ryan, your relationship with Lisa helped to lead to that ponderosa tree symbol as well. So everybody is in every direction is working on it. And I think it finally happened. Now, did Trace and I sit there at the table and say how it could have been better? Yes, all day long. But then I said, we've got to just, little, like Trace literally, I said, I think I might say something. And Trace like, it's too late. It's like, just take what they have and run with it. And he's right. We can't, we can do what we want to do with our own brand and we continue to knock it out of the park. But this is a big deal. I mean, I've been here 12 years beating them down. And all of you have been doing that on your travels and everything else. And Ryan, to have Lisa just say what you said, come out of her mouth, just says that you're making an impact as well. So it's a really, really cool thing. And, I can't, everybody has done something in these efforts. You've all touched this. So, but anyway, I think I always wanted, you always want to be able to just really say what you want, but I think that we got a good outcome here. I really do. So I'm going to put our image into the chat right now. I'm just going to figure out where to put it.
Just as a follow-up, even that, I was very grateful to attend the conference, and they did forget us in quite a bit of other avenues. NAU apparently doesn't exist in the state of Arizona, and you can go snow skiing at night here. After you golfed or in the daytime in Phoenix. But yes, I kind of share the same thing with Lisa. I'm like, we're just more than metropolitan Phoenix and the Grand Canyon, and the state has a whole lot more. And I love that they traveled the whole state and visited people that live in different cities and rural areas to get their input, and they picked it up. I think those are the peaks on there too.
Fair, I am sorry. You did text me during the meeting and
I
you're like,
did.
what the heck? And then she's like, I'm gonna go up there and talk to him. So you did, and I really appreciated.
And the speaker too, and he said it was a mix up, it was a mistake.
Yeah, they had
and he was very good.
GCU. I'm like,
Yeah.
Um,
NAU.
and he's been here since
I
like,
know. And we do have
99.
international students in Flagstaff as well. I think that was missed out.
yeah.
But my takeaway from this, well, and Route 66 was brought up quite a bit. This is going to be quite a celebration between now and 2025.
And I'm on that committee and they were supposed to do the unveiling of the Route 66 logo. And there were so many people complaining about it that they had to wait.
Oh,
And I did my very best to not be super negative, but I was like, that tree needs to be smaller and Ponderosa needs to be bigger. And you know what I mean? I was just like, okay. So I had to really choose what I said to Alex because then you get to be too complaining. But
logo.
But I guess she heard it big time from some of the other cities, so they just said they weren't going there right now and they were gonna keep working on it. But anyway,
Yeah.
so at least they're listening. Before it's just kind of like,
Nobody's gonna be happy. Everybody wants a little bit more. I'm like, I get that. But we just want some, just some. Right now, we don't have a lot. So yeah, it definitely, on my personal level of advocating for that recognition for our community and especially for all that you guys do.
Well, just to the motivation by having the elevation, right? That is an
I even
anomaly
get to see the
so many-
video scripts and I was changing words and sending it back to them. And I was listening and there was a part in their new video that says something like, walk it, hike it. And I'm like, why can't you just say ski it? I mean, and they didn't add that back in, but I sent a note back to Lisa and I said, Lisa, you can make these changes. You have someone skiing in the video. Why don't you just say it? And so at any rate, she said they're gonna be making a lot of different renditions of it and kind of going from there.
Their team invited to the annual meeting. Always do they come?
Usually 2 or 3 heads.
Normally their marketing people come, but we'll really try to get Lisa to take a seat.
What if she's like, has a speaking portion?
I've done that in the past too.
Yeah, we had Debbie speak in the past. That's probably a really good idea to get her there.
Incentivize her to come.
Yeah. We really need her to sit down and see what a big group it is. But no, I mean, seriously, we've been beating them
Oh,
up.
you've been being.
So
been
it's-
great,
it's
and
been
that's a lot of headway. but
I'm
it's
sorry,
been
Chair.
more.
Forget it's your
Sorry.
meeting.
Sorry, no.
I just reiterate the point of, that nobody knows where Flagstaff is unless they've been to Flagstaff or Northern Arizona or what have you. I'm just experiencing that now that I'm interacting with people all over the country regularly. When they say I'm from Flagstaff, and they have no idea what I'm talking about unless they've been. People think of Arizona as desert, like sand and cactus desert only.
Holy,
I could add that we do have AOT team members coming up, September 5th and 6th. I don't believe Lisa's in the group, but they will be doing a Route 66 trade and media familiarization tour. So just getting about 6 participants out here from AOT to really experience the route in Flagstaff is going to be awesome. Let's go.
thanks.
Well, Lori, team, everybody, Ryan,
Yeah, Ryan is the
Heidi,
skipper behind that.
yeah.
Of the panel, putting it together. And
It's a big deal and I really appreciate it.
We learned today too that Deputy Director Alex will be here with that tour next week too, so
Yay.
yeah, she will join in that.
Well, anything you need from the commissioners, we're here.
Thanks.
I mean, if you want to join the lunch, the dinner.
Anything we can do to support.
Yeah, I can send you the itinerary and if you want to
Support.
jump in
You're
for,
welcome.
Yep.
You're welcome.
All right. Any other comments from our commissioners? Updates, announcements? Public participation. Do we have anybody online that has? No? Perfect. We all should have received a minute from the July 25th meeting. Hope everybody got to read those, and if we can have a motion for approval.
I'll move.
A second.
This is Jennifer. I'll second.
Perfect. And a vote. Everybody approve?
Aye.
Aye. Perfect. Heather, are you online?
Oh, she is not
Okay,
here today.
so we're gonna move forward. And then Lori, is it you that's gonna be leading the charge?
I am stepping in for Trace, yes.
Excellent. We have director and staff reports.
Great. So good afternoon, Madams Chair and Vice Chair, Lori Pappas, Marketing and Media Relations VP. Much like what Chair had just mentioned, we are going to follow today's reporting as we normally do. Are we starting here or do we have external partners reporting?
I don't see any.
It's just Heather, but no.
And just as
No.
a side note, I was kind of rushing it just because I know Regina has to step off, and if Michael doesn't make it on, we don't have a quorum, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go ahead and hand it over to Ryan.
Sure. Thank you, commissioners. Go ahead to next slide. I'll give you the update. This is July. As a reminder, I know there's a lot of stuff happening in the media. But you know, these reports I give you are always for the preceding month. So even if you've seen something else, I promise I'll talk about it next month if it happened in August. So for the month of July, Media Assist, we had 13 journalists reach out and ask about Flagstaff. That compares with 9 in the same month a year ago. We hosted 2 journalists. One was from Germany. He was on a 6-month assignment to the West Coast in Los Angeles and wanted to stop through Flagstaff on his way home and write a travel piece. So that was a unique opportunity because he's not usually a travel writer. So we did host him. And then we had Route Magazine. Brennan Matthews did his annual driving through the entire Route 66. So you know, Route 66 in the Centennial continues to draw interest. Total articles generated, this is per Cision, our media tracking software. We had 105 stories during the month. That compares with 77 a year ago. If you're curious why we had this big bump, you know, this is a little bit out of our control. This is the whole universe of people writing or publishing things about Flagstaff. I will note, though, that the Overland Expo continues to just generate hits. They're not huge. They're not always big feature stories, but so much news breaks in that niche industry during that event. And then the media, they'll write a lot about it coming up and they'll write a lot about it afterwards. So that's not the entire, you know, 30 some additional media hits we saw that month, but I'm noticing that every single month that we just get a lot of little tidbits, news releases and stuff. So that is one reason that needle is moving a little bit. Themes is supported in coverage, high altitude training, dining, national parks and monuments, Route 66, astrotourism, all the usual suspects there. We did not issue any news releases last month. We probably will issue one this month. I can get the next slide, please. Highlights of coverage. I could probably stop here. This was the Los Angeles Times. They had reached out. It didn't seem like they had much interest. It was like, hey, can you tell us anything about Flagstaff? We're going to write about high altitude training. This ended up being just an awesome story. I mean, everything you can ask for in media coverage. They've talked about all the athletes who have trained here, athletes who live here. It got deep into the science of high altitude training, but just hit on every single thing you would ever want them to talk about. Grand Canyon, national parks, proximity to Sedona, proximity to good restaurants. And you had athletes who live here talking about what a beautiful place it is. They use the word clean compared to other places like Park City where they could be doing this high altitude training. So literally just everything you want in media coverage from a very key publication. And then this was on a section front in print as well. Next slide, please. Yes, if anyone didn't see that, because that LA Times story is behind a paywall, I have a PDF of it. If you shoot me an email, I'm happy to share that with folks who haven't read that story yet. It really is a good read.
It's better than a good read. It is absolutely fabulous. Ryan certainly struck up a conversation, but even I think more importantly, I think a lasting relationship that will pay dividends. It was a very deep story without taking a lot of space, but just told, it was as if it was an advertorial.
But yeah, it was good.
But better.
Good writer and great story.
Lisa?
I'm sure that they picked it up.
Yeah.
I'll send it to her.
Okay, so other highlights. Arizona Central, this one we worked pretty hard on just to vote for ourselves to be the favorite road trip in the state. We continue to get good press out of this. So they wrote a fantastic story because we won. We beat out Sedona and Rocky Point and San Diego and Bisbee and everywhere else that you could drive to from Phoenix. So we got our own feature story about Flagstaff being the favorite road trip. And they've done 2 follow-on stories on this. They did another one that was just why was Flagstaff the #1 road trip. So you'll see that again, you know, I'll be talking about that again next month. AZ Family stopped by Mother Road's Beer Factory. I love the rather than calling it a brewery, sort of recognizing the size of the operation here. ABC 15 went out to Meteor Crater, did a nice story. They've been back since then as well. Singletracks.com paid attention to Flagstaff's new downhill only mountain bike trails, and they did a nice interview with the Flagstaff Biking Organization. I think you're going to see a lot more coverage of that. I know I'm a mountain biker. You guys probably get sick of listening to me talk about mountain biking, but the new directional trails are something that is getting a lot of media attention. These are trails that you're meant to go downhill. You're not supposed to climb those trails. There are signs at the bottom that tell you don't hike up this because there'll be people flying down the trails. And Single Tracks is a national outlet, and now that they've paid attention and did a feature story, I think you're going to expect more coverage of that. And then the Daily Telegraph in London, they did a very nice story on Route 66, and this one was from a fan, so we hosted that journalist here in Flagstaff earlier in the year. So we did get some positive coverage out of that too. Next slide, please. Film office, we issued one permit that was down from the same month a year ago. This was called Cave Without a Name. It was an indie project. They filmed mostly of it, which is where almost all the attention in film is right now, is on dark skies and Lowell and the ADC and stargazing, astrotourism. They did film some B-roll around town. We did have 5 assists. So there were 5 other film projects who reached out and wanted something from us, usually contacts, so there were 5 other crews in the area, and all of these were filming outside of city limits. So we didn't need to issue them a permit. That's out of our jurisdiction, but they were filming in the Coconino Forest or on private land. So yes, film permits are down, but film activity it was hopping. It was a busy month. Next slide, please. And looking ahead, FAM tours. We have all of these publications coming here before the end of October. Actually, most of them are here in September. So extremely busy with travel writers on a diversity of topics. Route 66 is a big one, but we've got astrotourism in there, lunar legacy, modern luxury is just sort of a broad overview of Flagstaff. So that expect more coverage before the end of the year. And if there's no questions, I'll pass it along.
Nice.
All right, everybody, Madam Chair and Commissioners. So Isabel Whistler from Media here. I'll make it quick. Next slide, please. So we had a pretty good July over on our socials. Some double digit in the thousands there, a couple 44K, 72K, good numbers we like to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. I did try a different approach with our 4th of July post this year. So it is a then and now format, and people really liked it. Did not find out more about the sausage queen in that picture. So if anyone knows, please let me know. I'd like to find out more. Again, then and now posts are pretty popular, and a lot of folks celebrated with us on our CNN win of one of the best American towns to visit. And we had a higher engagement over July of last year from about 13K. Next slide, please. Also trying some more new things over here on Instagram. Trying some inspirational videos, and also, as you can see on the left, some more Mimi fun videos. The Mimi fun video did reach more engagements and reach than the other inspirational video. So gonna kind of take that into consideration moving forward. Also, the upper right-hand corner, that is for the Celtic Festival. Very popular. A lot of people didn't know about it. So I'm really glad that that video brought some more attention to the festival. And that goes with a very heavy push on festival support for me on socials. And we also have reached our pre-Pride Pride video follower count. So we're back. We're at 48,000 now. Congrats.
Good job.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Next slide.
what?
What was that?
Sorry, I misunderstood what you said.
Oh, no worries. During the Pride month, we were posting actively for the Pride Parade and Pride celebrations, and we did lose about 1,000 followers during that period of time. And so we gained that back and more. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Yeah. Okay. On the other hand, Flag Caps has been going down in open rate, but our subscriber count continues to go up. So I'm going to test out different subject lines, seeing if that'll bring some more folks to click through, but yeah, it's just a little more down than I would like it to be, from that 35 open rate that I'd like to see. So we'll see what happens next month. Gonna play around with some things and give a little more push on our socials for it as well. Next slide, please. So looking ahead, the usual, then and now, Route 66 Centennial, Trails Passport support, some random holidays like International Lizard Day. So thank you, Ryan, for that photo. And then if you guys didn't know, since I wasn't here at last commission, Discover Flagstaff social media account received the Best Destination Social Media account in the Phoenix Magazine Awards. So just letting you know. And that's it. That's it for me. If you don't have any questions.
Introducing our very own Sabrina.
Wow, what an introduction. Thank you, Lori. Sabrina Beard, Marketing Specialist for Discover Flagstaff. Let's go to the next slide, please. So starting out with our Discover Flagstaff emails, just doing a quick recap since it's been about 3 months since I've reported. So we have a final reach, total reach right now, a little over 26,000 people. The last few months, we had an average open rate of 35% and an average click-through rate of 2%. I'm excited to say that accommodations was our #1 clicked link in June, our #2 clicked link in July and in May. So people have intention to stay. So we're really excited to see that. Let's go to the next slide, please. For Flagstaff local newsletter, I just want to talk about July. May and June had pretty average results for what we usually see, but July had an outstanding open rate of 76% and a click-through rate of 40%. We don't usually see that, so trying to figure out what exactly is so different about this email compared to the other emails. It was sent out the same exact day and time that I always send my emails out. We send them out on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8:30 a.m. We have it sent to our master list and a resend to non-openers. The subject headline for this email was "Shelter Please, New Restaurants," and ... to see if maybe they would click to learn more. I think maybe because the most clicked link was new restaurants, maybe I should start including a little bit more information that's just focused on the community opposed to all of the volunteering and donating, which that will still be a heavy focus, but sprinkling in just some fun additional things for our audience, I think might keep our engagement rate up the way it is right now. So fingers crossed. Let's go to the next slide, please. Trails Passport. So that launched in May of 2023. We had great traction last year when it was new and exciting. Unfortunately, this year our signups and our trail check-ins are down. So I have a meeting coming up with Band Wango. They said that they've seen this before with some other passport facilitators. So we have a meeting coming up and they're going to share some tips and tricks on how they've helped other vendors and DMOs increase their numbers. So more to come on that. We also put together a video. So Isabel, thank you for the video. I think that'll be really helpful and hopefully have some more positive numbers to share next month. Just a quick update on the Flagstaff Festival sweepstakes. We have a little over 4,000 entries right now, and we've awarded 8 prizes to very appreciative and excited people. And I'm always encouraging them to share on their socials. I think, you know, at the beginning of the conversation today, we're talking about all these scam calls and texts and emails and posts and fake giveaways. And I think people are a little skeptical. So unfortunately, our festival sweepstakes numbers are down as well. So I'm encouraging our winners, please post, tag us, do a hashtag when you post. If you don't want to specifically tag us, if we have permission to share, that's great. But if not, just post and share that you won a sweepstakes and let your friends know that they have an opportunity to win as well. We're giving away prizes all year, throughout the year, every year. So trying to get those numbers up, yes.
Are there like clearinghouse websites where you can find all the like DMO sweepstakes that are happening out there? Ask me for a friend.
Once you enter one online, you'll start getting a lot more just because of the algorithm. So I'm actively entering many sweepstakes. I did get my Instagram hacked recently, which is very sad. I don't know if it's directly related, but yeah, I'm trying to enter sweepstakes and also seeing how they populate their questions and their click through, how they do their rules. So we're always looking for new information, how we can improve our sweepstakes and keep it up to date. And yeah, just if anyone has any recommendations on how to get around this, sad scam
What is the
scare.
word free? Like if what they're winning gives them something free, or like if their whole, I don't know, I don't know exactly what all that you guys, I know that you do these sweepstakes. I didn't know exactly what all, but maybe the word, a chance to win a free stay, a free blah, or a free stay package gives them a little bit more encouragement to say, I think I'll go do this right now.
Okay, putting free on the graphic is a good idea.
Yeah.
I do like that because I know in my email campaigns, I'm putting the word free, capital letters, pretty big. I think we put it in the social media posts as well. The captions are saying enter for a chance to win free admission to this festival, because that's typically what they're offering is free admission.
This tells me I'm gonna win, I could win something. But the word free makes me go, well, I should click on it now because I won. It's free.
And a lot of the first questions I get are, what do I have to pay? What is the tax on this? So next year, when we have updated graphics and creative, we'll make sure that the free is loud and proud on there somewhere. And we can move that information up in our copy as well. Email, social, and wherever else.
I would take out some too, and just prices,
Okay.
but it's beautiful.
That is Jen's work. So thank you, Jen. Taking quick notes. Awesome. Thank you guys. If you ever have any other recommendations or advice, text, call, email away. Happy to receive anytime. Let's go to the next slide, please. Stay and play responsibly did end. Our final entries were 960. Again, this is unfortunately a low number. So just kind of piggybacking off the conversation about festival, we'll have to add free in there. I mean, it really is a free vacation. So we'll make sure that free is a little loud. We've been putting a dollar value because we think that people will be interested and enticed by something that's valuable and that they don't have to pay that. But if we make it more clear, they don't have to think.
So I
about
would
this
say
much.
to win a free Flagstaff vacation and then smaller valued at 350 or something like that.
Doesn't always include lodging though.
Okay.
So sometimes it's just attraction, especially when you're looking at the festival suites. It is still maybe one festival has accommodations locked in.
Well, what about a cool 350 toward your vacation? Something like that. So they know that it's, anyway, I can drive you crazy all day. So we'll do this another time.
No crazy at all. It's super helpful. It's sad to see the numbers going down because at the end of the day, we're trying to do something kind. We're trying to, kind of reward our loyal followers and people who love Flagstaff and get them to come back and tell their friends. And
Numbers are down overall, though. We've talked to lots of businesses and they're all just struggling right now. And people probably just don't have, they didn't have the income to travel as much this summer. Inflation is hurting people. And we're hearing it from our businesses that are, some of the retail that are closing, that the minimum wage is hurting them, the inflation, all of that is taking toll. So it's got to be taking a toll on a household as well. So
Many are living off their savings accounts.
Unemployment's on the rise.
Exactly.
Student loans are back into payment mode.
whenever,
it's a lot of stuff going on.
whenever I have a winner that's out of state, the first thing that they say is, well, I can't fly there. Think you're not paying for our flight? No, it says it in the rules that we don't provide transportation. It's very clearly stated that this is what the price is. Specifically for the stay and play responsibly, that is a hotel stay, attraction passes, and dining and beverage vouchers. So it really is a free vacation, just minus the transportation, but that's what's getting to people. So once I call a few out of states, because it's a randomly selected, you click a button and it tells you who won. Once I get a few out of states, I start expanding my pick 5 winners instead of 1. And if I see a Phoenix number, I will pick a Phoenix number, Flagstaff number. If I see an Arizona area code, I start to kind of narrow it down that way. And then it has a little bit more success getting someone that is a drive or flyway. Yes.
Does American Airlines ever offer, not necessarily full vouchers, but like $100 credit or $200 credit?
We've tried to do that just for our own airport ads,
Uh-huh.
and they just won't participate. United and American would never do it. It was a struggle. We can't even use their names in our ads because it has to go through a major marketing approval. So we just say the routes. Yeah, been there, done that with them 100 times. Yeah, I tried when I was the CB director, and then when I came into this role and started working at the airport, I tried again, and they were like, nope.
Good thing, especially because they're so,
Even when United came
yeah.
and we were having our big kickoff and a big party at the airport, we were asking for some free tickets, and they wouldn't give us anything.
You should try on the LAX.
I only got
Nice.
this. Just unsolicited thoughts, is I understand what the stay and play responsibly is, sort of in the broader context, but in the case of like sweepstakes, it doesn't sound very fun. Responsibly doesn't sound very fun.
Gotcha. So we can get rid of the responsibly for that part and just say stay in place sweepstakes.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
makes
It's
sense.
not talking to people that you're just trying to, you stay in play is about Flagstaff staying here, right? And if the message is like, here's some things to do, it's not always responsibly, or
Yeah.
or the things that you're giving them to do.
Yeah, they're like, I want to have some real fun. And you're going to be responsible. In this context, we could get rid of the responsibly, Sabrina, because we're not doing a digital ad where
We're not doing fireware.
our council a long time ago said that it better be on everything we do. But in this instance, I can see what you're saying, that it doesn't make it seem like, wow, I can't wait. Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you guys. Keep the suggestions coming. Text, call, email, whatever works. Coffee.
I like, it tells all of our neighbors down south. It makes it cool off up here.
And we do try to update our creative every year, or at least every 2 years. So there's some brand recognition, and then try to keep it new and exciting at the same time. So, so this creative will be renewed, living responsibly. So we'll have some new drafts for you guys in the near future.
Good deal. I do want to interject. We have to remember the focus and the goal of the sweepstakes was to create talk and to create buzz. So numbers may not be engagement, but people are seeing it, and we're giving a reason for additional conversation. So we can't put all of our eggs in one basket and just say, oh, it's not strong. Yes, it can be improved, but we have to remember that without this, like we gained 960, potentially 960 more people to talk to add to our email database. So it's really important to understand what we set out to do with these sweepstakes. If somebody doesn't claim the prize, we accomplished what we set out to do. We got engagement. It's engagement.
I wonder if we should be doing sweepstakes around NAU homecoming. So many alumni are coming back for homecoming if they think they can win their trip or win something additional to their trip. I mean, it could be in collaboration with the Alumni Association, and maybe they pay for the hotel or something and we pay for something else. I don't know, but I mean, it might be something we could do and have an offline conversation with Stephanie Smith.
And then you would benefit from the extra marketing as well.
Yeah.
Totally. We'd all benefit because we use all of our platforms, their platforms, and ask them to have some skin in the game. Thought.
Yeah.
Thought.
In the spirit of time, we have lost our quorum. So
Yeah. So I think that we have,
Just adjourn the meeting.
we adjourn the meeting immediately.
That's okay. We had a great conversation.
We sure did.
About
Thank you.
our sweepstakes. So I'm happy. I can go home happy.